Hi, everyone. Danielle and Matt Noyce here. Thanks for making the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network part of your daily routine, storms or sunshine.
If you enjoy these videos, we invite you to become a member at patreon.com/1 Degree Outside. Support our mission of continuing to bring accurate weather forecasts and science insights to one and all. This 1 Degree Outside video is brought to you by CrackX Foundation Crack Repair and Waterproofing. 40 years of prompt and economical service to New England homeowners, builders, general contractors, home inspectors, management companies, architects, and engineers. Be sure to visit crackx.com and mention 1 Degree Outside when you make your appointment for an incredible discount. Thursday Insights, a little bit more rain on the way. Hi, 1 Degree Outside Weather Network meteorologist Matt Noyce. In this video together, we're going to talk about the rain and some ending as wet flakes in spots. The gusty winds are ahead for us on actually a few days. We'll take a look at that, weekend details for you, and an active pattern that will extend all the way out into next week. Let's start out with the drought monitor. It was just updated today. Again, it's the government university consortium that comes together each week to evaluate where we are in the drought status. Still significant drought ongoing across the southwestern United States and parts of the plains. Here at home, it did get better. We talked about that in Insights earlier this week, didn't we? With the amount of rain that we got, you'd think that it would. We have erased the severe drought across the area. You still have a moderate drought in TAN. You've got a little bit more rain that's on the way over the course of the next 48 hours. And when you look at the jet stream today, you can understand why, right? We're bringing in some Pacific moisture, some Gulf moisture, carrying it up the coastline. It's a pretty quick shot. You don't get a ton of rain out of this. When you look at the water vapor imagery, the satellite that's kind of tuned to pick up on water in the atmosphere, you're seeing that water in both whites and greens. And there's not a whole lot of it that's coming at us here. So it's a pretty quick shot of rain that comes through. Total amounts are going to be pretty limited across a lot of the eastern United States. Everybody gets into it during the overnight tonight and into Friday, particularly the first half of the day. But it's not like we saw at the last event where you had copious amounts of moisture that were really adding up. So you're talking about probably a third of an inch of rain on average. Some spots a little bit more, some spots a little bit less. Again, we'll take what we can get in terms of the water table. With the timing of it, a shower here and there over the course of our Thursday evening. The dense fog in the marine layer that we've seen is going to fill back in as we get into our Thursday evening and night. But again, remember, this video in the Insights really starts out with tomorrow and goes out through the next several days. So it'll be raining in the morning tomorrow. But notice by 9 a.m., we're pretty much done already in someplace like Hartford, Connecticut. Drier air from the south and west. We end as snow tomorrow morning to midday across the mountains of Vermont, New Hampshire, and the mountains of Maine for that matter as well. Notice in Boston, by the time we get to midday, most of the rain is done. There still may be a leftover shower here and there, but the wind is going to start to kick on the backside of this system. That wind will be coming out of the northwest. Notice that by 3 p.m., you're pretty much dry. It's just turning windy and cool as a result of that increasing wind and some colder air that's moving in. So in terms of how much snow you get on the backside of this thing, most of us don't get anything out of it. But admittedly, when you come through the Berkshires, you've got a coating of maybe an inch in the high terrain. And yeah, the areas of blue are 2 to 4 inches, with some locally higher amounts around the summits. Jay Peak may be an example of that. Even Cannon does pretty well as the wind comes out of the west-northwest on the backside of the system. And here is that wind getting through the midday, the afternoon on Friday, and into Friday, a late day and early evening. That's your peak on the wind. You'll notice it shifting to blow out of the northwest at about 7 in the morning, even in someplace like Boston. That's when the cold front comes by. It starts to increase around 11 in the morning or maybe around noon. And then again, late day is when you hit your maximum gust. The areas in yellow where we may gust over 40 miles per hour. An isolated outage is a possibility. And there may be a couple of spots that can gust all the way to 50 miles per hour as this stuff kind of streams in. But it's going to be a fairly short period of that. During Friday night, it's breezy, but the wind is shifting. So that, look at this, by Saturday, it's already starting to come out of the southwest. So Saturday, you get wind gusts that may go 30 or 35 miles per hour, but it's a southwesterly wind. You've changed the direction. It's because this is a very active, fast weather pattern. So when you get a weather pattern like that, you don't necessarily get big precipitation events. For example, the next disturbance that comes in here arrives on Saturday late day with a shower to northern New England, and southern New England, maybe late day, early evening, a shower that comes into play. That may end to some snow showers with a coating of snow across the North Country, but it moves by, and by Sunday, you've got actually what's going to be a good day. Even Saturday's a good day in a lot of spots. It's just the clouds increase, and there might be that late day quick shower that comes by. After Sunday looks good for us here. Sunday night into Monday, the next system approaches. Now, this one, we've got just enough marginally cold air that'll be left behind. You may be able to get a mixture with snowflakes all the way into southern New England. Doubtful it would be impactful. The better chance of accumulation, the northern half of New England on your Monday morning. The rest of us in the southern half of New England, even if you do get a little bit of snow mixed in to start out, would very likely go to rain pretty quickly. You can see it midday on Monday, mostly raindrops in the southern half of New England. Still some snow in the north, and then by the end of the day, it probably tapers down entirely. You know, to the point of this being an active weather pattern, if we look at the jet stream and we play things out going through the weekend and into next week, not just that Monday disturbance, but I want you to watch what happens even after that. Yet again, we've got what we call a trough or a dip in the jet stream, and yet again, we're opening ourselves up to perhaps some input of moisture from the south. Not a ton, a fast-moving pattern, none of its copious amounts of precipitation, but another chance of rain and snow anyway would come into play next Wednesday. Day by day, you can kind of see the evolution of what the wind does on the temperatures, right? So Friday's temperatures are in the 40s for us, some 30s in the north. Again, the wind turning more and more gusty as the day goes on. Friday night, the wind's still with us, but shifting direction so that it's a southwest breeze on Saturday. That does help your temperatures push to 55 to 60 degrees for a whole bunch of New England. Again, that rain shower late in the day, not a huge deal, but it will end as snow showers in the mountains of the north, so that Sunday actually get a little bit of fresh snow that's on the trails for ski country, and the temperatures that will hold in the 30s, so it'll soften up, but it won't be terribly melty. And then by the time we get to Monday, again, some snow in the morning in northern New England, perhaps on the order of a couple of inches, while southern New England, very likely, if there's any mix, would go over to raindrops as the temperature rises. You'll be able to track it too, and of course, see all of our video updates with our 1 Degree Outside app on the App Store and Google Play. That's the way things look for now. We will see you with updates always at 1degreeoutside.com and atop the app home screen.